Hey everybody, welcome to another Hoodzpah live stream. I am your host, Amy Hood.
And I am Crochet Master B, wielder of crochet hooks and yarn.
This is a new thing for me. She is crocheting a storm. We are buried. We are up to our tits in crochet. It's crazy. But seriously, everywhere she goes now, it's just like, wait, no, it's one hook. It's one hook.
Yeah, it's just the one hook, but you use the other
one
hand.
Hook. I still don't, knitting and crocheting, I'm still not sure. Our old employee, Julie, shout out to Julie, Mac Boyce, she used to be a knitting master as well. So this is like, we have a storied history of knitting in Hoodzpah. It's very exciting.
Taking up the mantle with another version.
No, I'm glad you are, because I don't think Art or us could have handled it. But yeah. But yeah, we are Hoodzpah. We are two members of Hoodzpah. Hoodzpah is a type design and brand design studio based in Orange County, California. And sometimes we do design work that we don't have NDAs for, and so we get to share it with you. And it's so fun. I love seeing behind the scenes of anybody's process, how anything's made. It's fascinating to me. I will watch any documentary. VH1 Behind the Music, Stan here, love it all. So I think it's so fun to share process when we can. So we're releasing a new font next week. It's called Chapman Ave. It's based on Santa Ana Sans, and it started as just a 3D variation of Santa Ana Sans. But then it became its own monster layer font. And so I was like, I have to rename this. It's too different. It's too confusing. And so it's called Chapman Ave now. This is new breaking intelligence.
Breaking news.
Breaking news. Breaking news. So let's see. Let us know in the chat where y'all are from, if you can hear us, how it's going. It says greetings from the UK, Karina Moscow. Hello. Chris Porter, what's up? Bryce Reyes. Oh, all our steadies. Oh, Johnny Niddle. How's the East Coast? We had an amazing lightning storm here. And I know no one else cares, but in California, when we get lightning, it's like magic. It's like we only get it like once every 5 years. It was incredible. And it was like right on top of us. I woke up and I ran out to the porch and I just started watching it. Just like we used to do in Kentucky. Watch the tornadoes just roll in. What is it about us like Southern people? We're a little bit of masochists or something. I don't know. But yep, Zach Beckman, woot woot, new font alert. It's true. You heard it here first. It's really exciting. Yeah, so the name of it is Chapman Ave because Santa Ana Sans was based on kind of like that simple signage painting that you see around Santa Ana downtown. On all the sides of buildings and things like that. It's like perfectly imperfect. Well, Chapman Ave is a 3D layered font with chrome, with corners. It's really, actually, let me just show you. What do I keep talking for? Let's look at it. Okay, here's kind of where I'm at on some of our specimens. And it is this chrome number right here. And here's some of the applications we've been doing, making a couple of like fake magazine layouts, just showing people how the fonts can be used. I find that that's really an important way to sell your font and to market it is to make sure you're showing them, hey, look how easy it is to use it. Look how easy it is to apply it. So here's some examples of that. You might have seen it in our Take It Easy sale graphics. That was it. And it's in all caps, upper and lowercase. So what that means is like this big E, that's the uppercase, and then these smaller capitals are the lowercase. So it's kind of confusing, which is why I had to rename it. But it's got all these cool layers that you can make all these cool stylings with. It's got an underline option, which is the style set number 1, and then it's got just like the plain without the underline. So there's like tons of options, and it's going to be really fun. And the only thing I'm missing, which is today's project, is I want to show how you can use the font in a logo. Because I find that a lot of people, when they see how you use something in your type specimen, I find that people often will mimic that in how they use the font, which is just, it makes sense. It's people like to do what's familiar. So I like to show them like, hey, here's a great way to use the font in a logo, and that kind of thing. I like to show them a couple options. So give them some bouncing pad ideas. So yeah, that's what we're doing. And oftentimes I find people are unsure, like, can I even use this in a logo? Is that okay?
Is that okay?
And yes, it is okay. It is okay.
It's Amy approved.
It is. It's fine. Stamp of approval. So yeah, that's what we're working on today. So here's kind of our sketches.
Also, people are loving it. They're obsessed. Wow, yay, awesome, sick, rad. Mark wants to know if you used AG offset to assist.
Oh, I did. This is my, finally, a real plug for Astute Graphics. I used their shadow tool And you want to talk about a time saver, is this one right here. But Astute Graphics, the shadow tool, the block shadow, I use that to create all my starter shadows with my font. So yeah, it was pretty great. Yeah, thank you so much. What's up, Anti-Pixel Type Studio? Jordan Taylor. Oh, Jordan Taylor. Hello, what's up? In the house. She does amazing design. She's actually in our Fabus course as well. So many good people in the chat. Chat, what have you been up to? How have you been? It's been a while. We said we were going to do this weekly, and then we absolutely did not do that.
We didn't call like we said we would.
We were the jerks that said, call you tomorrow. Call you soon.
We were the bad date. Sorry.
Oh, no.
We were the bad boyfriends.
Oh my gosh, I was just remembering, this is kind of off topic, but I was just remembering the weirdest compliment I've ever gotten at a date, but that has stuck with me, and I have like such weird pride about it. Somebody said, the whites of your eyes are so white. That is serial killer talk. Who says that? But to this day, I'm like, look at those whites. Oh my gosh. No one has
so funny.
Eyeball whites as white as me.
The whitest white.
What's the weirdest compliment you've ever gotten on a date? Or from anybody, not even on a date, just from a person.
Well, I used to get the compliment, you have such pretty eyes.
Oh, you do have pretty eyes.
But, so I guess it's an eye thing.
Chat, what's the weirdest compliment you've ever gotten?
It's sometimes, not weird, though. That's
yours
like
is just like straight up nice. Yours is straight up like, oh, thank you. But sometimes you get one where you're like, what? Why are you looking at that? You know what I mean? Like, don't stop looking at that.
Yeah.
Or sometimes it's just a backhanded compliment. You're like, right. That's not a compliment. That's just a neg.
Mm-hmm.
How dare you? So I already started designing, but actually what I should do, let's take a step backwards. Whenever you start a logo, and we do this all the time at Hoodzpah, but you should always have a discovery of some sort with your client. So our client today, our fake logo client that we're going to be doing for this stream, we totally pushed the cart before the carriage earlier. Cart before the horse. But it's going to be an auto. I want to do a logo for a fake auto shop that's based in Orange, because the name of the font is called Chapman Ave, which is a street in Orange where pretty much every weekend, do you remember when we used to go down to Orange? And every weekend, there's just like classic cars everywhere. It's like a car show.
It's like Huntington in that way.
It's like Huntington in that way.
Or Newport.
Every day is like a car show, and I love that. And I think this chrome font really lends itself to that. So I was like, oh, that's a great name. So I was thinking our logo could be for Maxwell Auto. I made up a little fake discovery for us so that we have like something to base our design decisions off of, because I really hate it when I'm making design decisions based on, does this look cool? That's not like a great way to make progress. That's how you just get stuck and say, I don't know. So our client is Maxwell Auto. Again, this is all fake, but it's going to be really helpful when we start to design. He is classic auto repair and sales. It's a family-owned business. We want to make sure that we make a logo that refers to his storied past, because it was founded in 1978, but also is relevant for today. We want to play on the local credibility. They're local to Orange, California. Everybody wants to live in California. This is what I think. This is what all Californians think. We're so vain that way. But it's paradise. So we want to play on like the classic imagery of palm trees and, you know, that kind of thing. We're going to say that it's family operated for 3 generations. And I love to make a little list when I do my sketches of imagery that we can play with. So this just helps me kind of sketch quickly instead of like getting stuck on just starting. So I'll write down notes like I could use a key or a key fob. I could use a palm tree. I could use a classic car silhouette in orange blossoms. Orange County obviously is named after the orange groves that used to be here. So these are all little pieces of imagery that you can play with. And this just helps me to sketch way faster and not get too in my head. Another thing I like to ask our clients is, what are the key application points that you're going to need? I want to make sure that when I present a logo to my client, it suits the key situations it needs to live in. If it's too complex to live really small in a car badge, it won't work. That's a bad logo solution, and I don't want to give that to my client. So having these parameters of like, where does it need to live, will really help us kind of execute well. So our key applications for Maxwell Auto are business cards and magnets. Don't you love when a company gives you a business card magnet where it's like,
oh yeah, I love a magnet of any kind.
It's amazing.
Or a keychain or anything you can take.
I love finding them at the old like antique malls too. It's like, it's just, I love them so much. So let's say that we're making that. He obviously is going to want to make keychains and license plate frames for the cars that he sells or for the cars that he repairs. I'm going to say that he does repair and sales because he's diversifying his income, okay? This guy is smart.
He's a smart guy.
We need signage, of course, and perhaps metal badges. I know, like, I used to have a 1972 Mercedes, and it was this great old boat, and it had all these little classic badges that you could buy for, like, the country you're from or for the car clubs you're in and all this kind of stuff. So I thought, how cool would it be, since classic car owners are so club mentality? It's like they've got the Sunday meetups, they've got the driving clubs on the weekends. How cool if we had a little, like, driving club, like, badge that people could put. So those are kind of our key applications that we're going to think about. So now that we have our little discovery and a kind of like our plan of action, here's my sketches. The thing that I mainly want to focus on is this right here, this MA turning into a classic car. It's kind of like creating the silhouette. And I got that inspiration from this incredible logo.
Cool.
Isn't it amazing?
It's amazing. What his hair is on. I mean, it's so good.
I'm so sad that I didn't make this. I wish I knew who made this. I want to send them a thank you card. But anyway, I love how it's mainstream. The mane of his line is sort of an M. Mm-hmm. The mane of his line. The mane of his hair is sort of an M.
His mane.
His mane. There we go. I love his sunglasses. I love how it's like there's thick lines. There's just so much good about it. So we're going to kind of draw some inspiration from that. I've got my classic car silhouettes. I really love the Chevelles. They're so good. So I'm going to probably use something like that. Also the Impalas. Shout out to any of our Supernatural fans.
Yes.
Yikes. We are very much. We used to love Supernatural
until
about
like
the
season 10 or whatever, yeah. And then it got weird.
But yeah, they really rode that into the ground, didn't they?
Like 14 we spent like a year trying to watch that last season.
We spent like 2 years trying to love it, and we're sorry.
I think we're
boys.
still on like episode 2.
We won't watch the finale because we want to remember it as it was.
Okay, there's a bunch of
yes.
the funny things that people say to you on a date. So Bryce Reyes, you're much tanner in person.
Bryce, you're Mexican, right? Did they know this?
And then Kelly Upshur said I had a guy straight up tell me he wanted to wear my skin. That was fun.
No, that is legit Silence
that is
of
so
the
scary.
Lambs.
Chris Porter, I used to get told my eyebrows were amazing, and girls used to ask if I would go and get them waxed.
Chris Porter, as someone who has seen you in person, great eyebrows. That is weird, though.
Ricky says I got told I had an interesting voice. Still not sure if that's a compliment or not.
I know, when someone gives you a compliment and they say you have such interesting or unique, to me, I'm always like, are you just trying to, like, it's an egg, I wonder. Is it an egg? That's so funny.
Okay, yeah, and then people are asking real questions about, Ronnie wants to know, do you use a questionnaire for this kind of client input or workshops, or how do you make sure you have the right answers for your brief?
Sure. Well, for our discovery, we've kind of finally figured out a set of questions that really works for us. But that being said, we almost always alter it each time per the client, because each client is so different and their, end use cases are so different that the questions oftentimes just have to be adjusted a little bit. So there's no, I've never found that there's like a perfect 100% system that we use every time. But we do have our discovery questions ready, and we just copy, save as for the new client, and then kind of adjust from there. So that does save us a lot of time. But we're actually going to start selling that template on our site. I'm actually working on it right now. I'm aiming to get it on the site probably we're in mid-September. Alrighty.
It's coming out today.
Probably then end of September, because it's pretty close. But the questions that we ask are just things like, it's basic getting to know you questions,
getting to
know all about you. The stream has gone off the rails.
I'm sorry.
But the questions are real getting to know you questions. So it's like asking them the things that they've been asked before, but then trying to really listen as a designer and think about follow-up questions, because oftentimes these clients, especially if they've been in business for a while, they have these answers memorized, and it's almost like they're not even thinking about it anymore. It's a canned response. So you're trying to get them to think deeper about it, and you're trying to get a little bit deeper than they've already gotten. So you're asking them, who's your audience? What's the goal of this rebrand? If you have a logo already, why does the old logo not work anymore? That's a big one. If the logo that they they currently have, they don't like, you really want to make sure you know why, so that you don't present them things that are, similar to that. If your audience currently is not who you want your audience to be in the future, who's your dream audience, or who's your, the audience that you'd like to start attracting? That way you can start figuring out how to pivot that in also the design vocabulary and the design aesthetic. So those are all things that we kind of start with, those kind of basic things, but then we always throw in some kind of weird ones. So that would be things like, if you had a, WWF walkout song for your brand, what would it be? And it just kind of gets people thinking about their brand in a different way. A really fun one that a lot of people really like, and that has really garnered great insights, is if you had a celebrity spokesperson, who would it be? Don't think about money, just think about the perfect personality fit. And that always, always, always yields such an interesting response, and almost never what I think it will be, but it always helps me understand the personality that they're going for. So yeah.
That's a great one.
Yeah, that's a really fun one. And almost always Kristen Wiig and Mindy Kaling are mentioned. And I'm like, I support this. So right now I'm working on this kind of like I said, this kind of outline car logo that we're going to kind of do. And the thing that I love about older logos as well is that, like, nowadays, if you presented this, some people might say it's too busy. I disagree. That can actually get pretty small and still print pretty well. So I like the idea of like trying to go a little bit more maximalist than maybe some of the modern logos are. So I'm really into that. So what I'm going to start doing on this, because it's an inline, I'm actually going to start with my inline stroke, get it exactly the way I want it, and then I'm just going to use offset path, which is like my best friend. And that's how we'll get a perfect double line. So I'm just using my pen tool, and I'm drawing this middle line that I've created. And I try to just get the points down, and then I just kind of go back in and adjust with my direct select, which is that A shortcut for your white arrow. Do we have any more hilarious?
Yes, Johnny Niddle said two things. That there used to be ostrich farms in the OC too, as well as ostriches and dirt that we covered with bars. And then he also said, in pertaining to what people have said about him, I used to have the mothers of exes always try to say I was wearing mascara, and they tried to rub it off until they finally realized those are just my eyelashes. So this has happened more than a few times. And you have lovely eyelashes. That's so funny. Oh my gosh, I can just imagine my mom doing something like that.
Yes, I can as well.
She's so hands-on.
Yes, she is.
Oh my gosh. Also, hello to Danielle Frater, and I just saw another one. Aaron.
Welcome to the stream, y'all.
Welcome to the stream.
Thanks for being our coworkers. If I had to do this alone, I'd be bitter. I'd be bitter and angsty, but it's so fun to get to do it live with y'all.
And Jordan Taylor, I had a guy tell me the size of my hands were intriguing.
What? That is a
that
neg.
Makes me feel uncomfortable.
That is a neg, and that is rude, and I'm mad for you. That's hilarious. That reminds me of, oh my gosh, have y'all watched Hacks on HBO?
So good.
It's so good. All you need to know is that Jean Smart is in it. That's all you need to know. That's all that should sell you on watching it. It's so funny. And the girl that is like one of the main characters, Jean Smart's always telling her that she has man hands. And I don't know why, but it's like the biggest diss.
Yeah.
Like, how dare you?
How dare you?
How dare you?
You always compliment my hands. I feel like
I
I have
love
the nicest
your hands. Well, have you seen my hands? I really am embarrassed. I won't show them. They're too embarrassing. But I have like troll hands.
No, she doesn't.
They're so short and
they're tiny and dainty.
Oh my gosh, you know what I found out this week? And I told you this already, but I am extremely double jointed, like in a really disturbing way.
She's like, can you do this? I'm like, no one has ever done that, so no.
I'm like, your hand doesn't bend at a 90-degree angle this way?
No, are your fingers falling off? I don't understand.
I did not know that everyone could not do that.
Jen didn't either. She was just as shocked. She's like, wait, no one can do this?
She's like, no, we can all do this. I maintain that we're just advanced Yeah. What's it called? Evolution has advanced me. Soon everyone will be double jointed the way that I am.
Yes.
But yeah, that's so funny. You have nice hands because they're like long and lean. Just a weird thing to say, but they're very lovely. So I'm gonna go. So what I'm doing is just using my offset path tool, and then what I want to try to do is create some, big color blocks. I want to have some color, some weight. I don't want it to just be monoline. So I'm connecting some things that I've created here. Just gonna get rid of that. If you direct select 2 anchor points from different line segments and then go Command J, it'll connect those 2 points together. It's the little shortcut. It's so handy. So I just connected those anchor points, and I'm just kind of creating a bit of a fill here. So I think I'll just connect that there for now.
Hi, Bahar from Turkey.
Oh, all the way from Turkey. What time is it there?
Yeah, what time is it there?
And then I just pull stuff off to the side and just kind of, so I can see the sketch I'm sketching on top of can make it really like jumbly. So I'll just option drag, pull it off to the side on my artboard so I can kind of see clearly what's going on.
In response to your WWF songs and spokespeople, people loved that. And Carter Gates says Matthew McConaughey will be my spokesperson.
That's awesome.
Chris Porter says, whatever mine would be, I just want Goldberg or The Rock to come out with me.
Oh my gosh. Wait, Goldberg. Now, why am I drawing a blank? Like Goldberg. Who's Goldberg?
The show?
Wait, now, okay, and now who was the other one?
The Rock.
The Rock! Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Okay, first of all,
obviously The Rock.
Is there anybody in the world who doesn't like The Rock? Like, even if you originally thought, like, oh, he's doing all those cheesy action movies, I dare you to not enjoy the Fast and the Furious franchise. I just dare you. It's impossible.
Jackson Falls says, I started asking all my clients the walkout song question and the celebrity love child question.
Oh, yeah.
And I've been loving all the
Oh, my gosh. That is a fun one because if you just ask, we used to ask that the celebrity love child a lot because it gives you the option for 2 different personality types to blend into one. So that really gives you an even deeper answer than just like, who would your spokesperson be? Jackson
said that he got Steve Jobs mixed with Steve Austin the other day, and that was iconic.
That's hysterical. We had a client the other day say, I want Don Johnson Miami Vice vibes. And I was like, I have never been more clear on what I need to do for you. This is like so helpful. So yeah, it can be really helpful. And those are just like, it's just kind of like, oh, what would it be the equivalent of? I feel like it just kind of shocks your brain into thinking about the problem from a different angle that you had never considered before.
Totally.
And it can be really, really helpful.
Ronnie says, did you know you can also apply multiple strokes in the appearance panel so you can later adjust your path offset?
No, I didn't. I don't even know what you're saying. It sounds amazing and complicated, and I'd love to know more. Or maybe just tell me what to look up later. I don't want to like have you like describe something over text that's like really complicated. But that sounds awesome because I love being able to update things in the future and edit later because you just never know what's going to work as you kind of continue to build your logo. You might need to change things.
And J. Mark Bowden says that Old Town Orange sketch is fantastic.
Oh, thank you.
Zach Beckman wants to know the top places to find logo inspiration. Love the lion logo. Yes, love that lion.
That lion logo is so good.
That M main.
Honestly, a great places for logo inspiration. It's everywhere. I mean, the obvious places, the obvious answers would be obviously, Pinterest and things like that. But I love those old American trademark books. And it's just a collection of trademarks that have been registered with the US or different countries. And they're just pages and pages and pages of just black on white logos. The most simple, purest form. And it's so fun to look at and to see just how things have changed throughout the years. I have a bunch of them from the 70s and 60s, not surprising. And I get mine on like used bookstores like Abe's Books and stuff like that because they can be really expensive. And they're kind of like almost like the NASA brand guidelines books these days. They're kind of like coveted items, I'd say. So if you can find them used, you're stoked.
Hey, Bcash Panda from India. Welcome. And Ken Wilson wants to know, what happened to Odds and Sods? What happened?
Oh my gosh. Odds and Sods. That was such a fun time.
I mean, Odds and Sods technically still exists on Etsy.
Does it? Oh, that's funny. Because, like, oh, this is news to me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's hilarious. It was basically like a goods line that we did because we, at the time, we were doing all kinds of like pop-ups and events and different things. And we thought it was kind of weird to have like this goods line that had nothing to do with design, just kind of like tacked onto Hoodzpah. So we created this like this other company, and we just separated all of our goods that didn't really have anything to do with design out into this thing called Odds and Sods. And it was so fun for a while when we were doing all those. We were doing a lot of pop-ups and stuff, but after a while, the pin craze, the bottom fell out. Any of y'all do pins in here? I feel like some of you will understand what happened in around, what year was that? Like probably like 2018?
Yeah.
It just, like pins, it was 2017, like, people loved pins. You couldn't get enough pins. People would pay anything for pins. And then 2018, we were just like, you know what? Enough is enough.
Yep. Oh, so Chris Porter said Goldberg was the guy who speared everyone.
Speared everyone. Wait.
You should know.
I don't.
This is right up your alley.
Is it?
Murder, spearing.
Speared everyone. Chris Porter, we're going to need you to, if this was a discovery session, I'd say, please expound. Please tell me more.
Oh, man. Louis Frey. Mine would have been Paul Rudd. And yes, Paul Rudd is the best.
He is great. He is lovable. And so then when they pick their person, you say why. So why Paul Rudd? Paul Rudd is lovable. He's approachable. That's a word we get mentioned a lot to us because our design is very approachable. It's approachable design. So people often will say, I want something approachable. Sometimes people will say, I want something exclusive. So yeah, you're asking them like, why that? What about them are you resonating with?
Okay, Ronnie explains, it's really easy. Just select a stroke and open your appearance panel, and then you can hit the plus sign to apply new strokes.
Oh, that's cool. I'm going to have to try that because I know I'm not doing it the best way. That's the funny thing about these live logo things is like, I'm about to share my process, but it's definitely not pretty. I think I will just go ahead and cut this. Oh. So what I want to do is I want to make a little like star like this. I love this. This is a lot. This motif, this little star motif appears a lot in retro designs. I was like, oh, that'd be cool to use. So I'm going to make one, and I'm going to use it as the interior of my hub of these wheels that I'm making. So I'm going to start with just 2 circles. I'm going to cut those circle segments so that just 1/4 of them are left. And then I'm just going to use my pen tool and continue that line up and over and then connect those. And then I'll just option drag that down, rotate it, holding shift so that I get a perfect rotation. And then I'll just kind of build it from there. So I've created that one there. Let's see if this is, ooh, hate it when you. Sometimes I feel like actually, I'm just going to cut that for now.
Natasha says she wants that dim sum pin. If we find one, I'll let you know. Sometimes we find stragglers, but I feel like they're pretty well cleaned out. But that was so cute. I love that dim sum pin.
Yeah, that was great. Actually, what I'll do is...
Ronnie has a quick question. Do you use the border radius thing on your paths or always draw your own?
The border radius. Oh, what's that? Border radius?
Border radius thing?
Border radius.
Tell us.
Is that from the path offset? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I do that.
Riki says, I love pins still. I have a blue jean jacket and a tote bag full of them that I collect.
See, that's the thing. Designers still love pins. To us, it never ended. But to the rest of the world, I feel like for their portion of the craze, they had seen enough.
An Antipixel Type Studio says, when I traveled to California last year, I almost made a tour to many of the shops that sold the Odds and Sods pins. I love them and use them daily.
Oh, that's great. I know. I still have all mine on all my jackets and stuff. I love the maximalist flare look, looking like a TGI Fridays waitress. That's definitely my vibe.
Okay. Oh, Bryce Ray has got to bounce. Catch you guys later. Bye, Bryce.
See ya, Bryce.
And Chris says he'll text you about Goldberg.
Okay. He's like, listen.
Give you the deets.
Listen, this is gone.
Jen says maybe the corner tool. Also, oh, Riki, I want the coffee mug diving board one. We have those, I think. Check this shop because I think that we have a few of those I listed. I'm like 98% sure.
I find that sometimes the smart thing is not very smart. Like, I'm trying to line this up and I'm like, how do you not know where I'm trying to go with this?
Yeah, those throw me off all the time.
Yeah, maybe I'm too zoomed in. I'm not sure, but I'm just gonna see if I can't. Maybe if I add that little, I'll just try that instead. This ended up taking way longer than I expected. Sometimes it's just like that.
Sometimes it'd be like that.
Okay, we finally did it. Jeez Louise. Okay, so now I'm gonna make this reverse white. I'm gonna take off that stroke. I don't need that stroke. And I'm just gonna size it down. And you can kind of see how that adds like a fun little detail into our hubcap. I really like that. That's kind of cool. And so I'm just gonna group this and option drag it over here for my other wheel. And then just option drag both of those with one of my other design elements that I've already made. So I can kind of line it up right. Cool. So that's kind of where we're at so far. I don't know if I love it or I hate it yet, but it's definitely something. It's interesting. You can definitely see the car, which is cool. I'm wondering if I should...
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
I might add some more details. Like, I was thinking it'd be really fun to have... I'll probably scoot those back a little too. I was thinking it could be fun to have like a palm tree. And I love how the lion one is really geometric. So if I want to make some palm fronds, I was thinking I could just make a kind of a oval and then cut just the top off of that oval and then just use that as my fronds. So I might...
Jeannie Brenner says a good way to make those is to make a circle and use the transform and pucker tool.
Yeah, I've tried that before. Oh, wait now.
Hey now.
Wait now, say that again. That's really interesting.
Transform and pucker tool after you make the circle.
Oh. Huh. To be honest, I feel so bad. These sound like such great tips, and I'm like, I have no idea how that would happen. Circle, transform, pucker. Let's try it. Effect, ooh, but where's transform? Object? Transform.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. But I don't see pucker. All right, I'm gonna have to look that up later is what I'm gonna have to do, because that sounds interesting. And anything that is like a cheat or a fast, like a way to make something quicker, I'm all about. I'm all about that cheat codes life. All right, so I'm just gonna copy this. I paste it in front and I'm just gonna rotate it. I guess we'll try first like 45 degrees. And you can see our palm tree is already taking shape. This actually looks really cool already. If I just go ahead and option drag this and flip it, just go object, transform, reflect, and I flip it across the vertical, we've already got a palm tree started. So I'll just kind of, and all I need to do is create one more frond. I'll just rotate that another 45 degrees. And
oh, Riki, I'm sorry. You're probably right. The more I think about it, they may have gone to a wholesale person. I'm so sorry.
Oh, the pins? Yeah, I know.
They love those. That was like so popular. That and the San Francisco pin, like Antipixel was talking about.
Oh yeah, that one was a great one.
That's the best one. I actually found some more of those, and we have like 5 left. And if our wholesalers knew about them, they'd snatch them up. But I shouldn't tell them. It's a secret. So Ronnie says, if you draw a square and you go to view, bounding box, and select the square, you get the border radius handles.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, totally. Yeah, like that. Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, and oh yeah, if you want to make like an oval, yeah, that's another way you could do that, totally. If you want like a more like flat top and bottom oval, yep, you sure can. That's the cool thing about design is like there's so many ways to accomplish a similar task, and I really love that about it. Everyone's got like a different process, and that's why it's so fun to watch these streams to see how people are doing things. So I just option dragged my fronds, and I want to try one where the shape is more together. So I'm going to try one like this, And I want to try even one more where it's fatter. I feel like these fronds might be a little too skinny. It's giving off like weed leaf vibes instead of palm tree vibes a little bit. I don't know. Just me. So I'm just going to direct select that middle point and chunk up that one. Option drag it. And then we could just kind of do the same thing.
Also, Ronnie said you can adjust the borders to have them not rounded, but with an inset.
Oh, that's cool.
It's like, too bad I can't quickly share a screenshot.
With an inset. Okay. Let's see if I can
Jackson Fall. Effect to distort.
There we go. Here's one. Corner. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Is that wrong? Is that right?
Jackson Falls saying also to affect, distort, and transform, and then pucker.
It's happening. You guys, I figured it out.
Oh my
Thank
gosh.
you, chat. Whoa. Okay, so let's just do that again because that was really freaking cool. So we're going to start with a circle.
So that's Ronnie.
All right, so Ronnie and Jackson. Yeah, this is why you're helping me with this design. It's just so amazing. Okay, so now I'm just going to hit A, which helps me after I've drawn this. So I've got it selected. Hit A. It brings up my corners, or it should. Oh, no, rectangle. I have to start with rectangle. Duh. Rectangle first. Okay, I'm going to do a perfect square. And then I'm going to round it. And then I'm going to go to corners. And I'm going to do that corner.
Ta-da!
Wow. That is so cool. Oh my gosh. That is so cool. You all, thank you so much. That was great.
And then this pucker one is affect, distort, and transform, and then pucker.
Okay, cool.
Apparently everyone's trying it. They say it makes the best flowers, and it's awesome.
Oh, wow. Okay, distort, transform, pucker. Okay.
Yeah. Effect, to distort, transform, and pucker.
Effect, distort, transform, pucker. Okay, let's see what it does. Let's see. Oh, what? Oh my gosh. So if I want, oh my gosh. Okay.
All that copy stuff is over.
I have been doing everything so hard. That is such a Kentucky way of, oh my gosh. That is cool. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, chat. That was great. All right. So if I want to do if I want to do a 5-sided flower, there it is. Look at that.
Oh my god.
You just have to draw what's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, is that septagon? Hectagon. Where's our geometry friends in chat? What's a 6-sided thing shape? Help.
Kato Shlev from Israel.
Oh, hey, what's up? Alrighty, so we're gonna
Trevor Gerard says pins were fun.
Trevor knows what's up. Trevor had like the hot pin company, Beholder Badges.
Oh, yeah.
He was making cool stuff. Now he works for Caton, doing all the same cool stuff on a massive scale. Used to work at Brixton, like all the cool like California surf brands that are just doing it right. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Hey, Jessica Sisa. Riki says, who knew a palm tree could be so easy to make? I would have never thought of making it like that.
I know. I don't usually make it this way either. The other way that's kind of fun that might look cool in this because we have this monoline thing going a little bit is we could just take I'll get rid of these. I'll just ungroup this real fast. Get rid of these and just start with one frond. And I'm just going to cut it so that I just have that top arced segment. And I'm just going to switch it to a stroke, beef that up a little. And then I have created my own little width profiles so that I can have like a teeny little taper. And I find that looks really nice, especially when you're trying to draw like something like a palm tree frond. And then you can just kind of cut those ends off. And then you can start a frond with that too. So we could do a little skinny one. Then you can just grab your pen tool and create one little frond like that. Option drag. Maybe even go Command D if you feel like that's gonna work. And then you can just kind of pull them out and adjust them. So cool. So we'll see which one looks better with our design, but it's good to try a few things.
Jessica, we're working on a logo design for an automobile company.
They do repairs and also sales because he's diversifying that income stream, baby.
Lauren, Jersey, you noticed the prints were leaving the shop. We are not cleaning house so much as we're just selling for, I think we're getting new.
Yeah, we're doing we're doing new prints. So I think I'm going to make those not easy but not impossible. That's from our last stream. Go ahead and check that one out if you want. It was so fun. We did some lettering in Illustrator, which we don't always do. Sometimes we do it in glyphs. So if you like to make lettering in Illustrator, check it out. But yeah, I think I'm going to turn those into prints. I think that would be fun. And then Jen really wants us to turn the take it easy. This one right here, actually, take it easy. She wants to turn this into a print. And I was like, oh, how fun would it be to do a risograph version of that? I think that would be really fun. So, so here's one of my fronds, and then I'm just going to do the same thing that I did before. Command C to copy, Command F to paste in front, and then I just shift arrow up a few, and that just moves it like 10 pixels up, and I just rotate as needed, and then I create one full side, and then I'll just duplicate that and mirror it, reflect it for the other side. So maybe we'll do one more frond at the bottom, although sometimes a 4 frond palm is also nice. So let's just see where we land on it. That actually probably won't work. We'll do that again. I'm just going to group that. So that
Brandon P., do you find it more beneficial for a client to know your entire design process, or is it better to keep some mystery?
Ooh, mystery. That's a good point. You know, I do like to demystify it as much as I can because then it makes them feel more comfortable, I found. But at the same time, sometimes it can confuse or muddy the waters if they think, oh, that's easy. If they see you, you know, they're like, oh, that sounds easy or it looks easy when it's really not, you know? So it kind of is a case by case basis sometimes how much I share. But I do like to demystify as much as I can. Even just like sending them schedules of when everything's going to be due for the next 2 to 3 weeks. It's like, here's our schedule so we stay on track. Just doing that, sharing that much of the process is like a game changer. But I also find that not many of our clients watch these streams. Although some of our like favorite old school clients do, like Jeffrey Wang from Bikram Yoga, Irvine. What's up, Jeffrey Wang? If you're
Still
watching.
a client. Right?
Still a client. I'm saying there, but they were our OGs.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Naveed Makburi, who his family owns a sensor technology firm or company. And it's like future. They are designing the future. It's crazy. And that's in Irvine. And he was like one of our first big clients, and he's so cool. And we keep in touch with him. But I don't even know if they watch the live streams. They just keep in touch. They're just like good friends.
By the way, that 6-sided shape with a hexagon.
Hexagon.
So
Okay,
says, like,
yes.
5 people.
Oh my gosh.
Also, Doc's in the house. Hey, Doc.
What's up,
How's
Doc?
it going?
This stream, if anything, is just a continual humbling of us and what we know, and more what we don't know. Speaking of, oh my gosh, we've been obsessed with Smartless podcast.
Smart.
Smart. Less.
Smart.
The song makes me crazy, but the podcast is funny. It's funny, like I listened to one with the guy from Hootie and the Blowfish, and I was like, I didn't love it. I think the guys were in a bad mood or something, and then you were like, no, you have to give it another chance. And I'm glad that I did.
Yeah, it's super funny. I love it. I think maybe my favorite recent one is the one with Octavia Spencer.
Oh, she's great.
She's amazing, super talented.
And they're hilarious because they've just been friends forever because they were on Arrested Development together. If you don't know, Smartless is a podcast with Jason Bateman, Will Arnett, and Sean Hayes. Sean Hayes is from Will and Grace. And then Will and Jason are from Arrested Development. And they've all been friends for like decades. And they all have hilarious stories about other celebrities. This is my dream podcast. I just want to know every celebrity's business. It's so wrong. Why do I care so much? Why do I want to know who's dating who?
It's interesting.
You know, every time we watch a TV show, the first thing I'm doing is looking up what other movies they've been in and who they are dating. I need to know.
Yep.
I need
to know anything about anyone, I just ask Amy. I'm like, who is this person?
I need to know their dating history. It tells me a lot about who they are.
Yes.
Oh gosh.
So Megan Edwards wants to know, how many branding projects do you take on at a time?
Oh, that is hard to say because we always take on too much and we always swear we'll never take on that much again. So I feel like I shouldn't tell you how many we do because it's out of control. But I'd say like a good number, as we've been starting to try to be better about it, is 3 to 4. Especially because the scope of the projects that we do nowadays is so vast. Unless it's like just doing title treatments for Disney, that's a pretty like manageable scope. It's pretty small, so we can take more of those on. But if it's like designing, you know, if it's starting their branding from scratch with nothing or doing a whole redesign, that's a lot of work. And so that Jen's doing like 2 of those right now, and it can be a lot.
Doc wants to know, do you use the path extender tool from Astute? He sees some of the tools in your palette.
Oh, I don't use that one, but I feel like I've heard of that one. Which one is that one, Doc? What does that one do?
Trevor Gerard says, I'm very excited about Chapman Amy / Hoods.
Ooh, I'm excited. I know it's what started as Santa Ana Sans Shadow, and then I made 5 layers to this font. It is a 5-layered font. It's out of control. When I went to kern it, I had to be so careful because if I make a mistake on any layer, the whole thing breaks. It is so much stress and so much like attention to detail, which is not my forte. That's more like Arturo's forte or your forte. You guys are good at like the detail-oriented stuff.
I love details. Too much makes me crazy.
So chat, tell me if you think I'm right, but of our 2 palm trees that we made a couple, but these 2 are my faves. Of these, I feel like this one matches better with the vibe if we're thinking about like, this is our inspiration, this more kind of geometric look. This is kind of cool, but I think if it were to work, we would have to do it with no taper. We'd have to just make it, I'll just click in here, because we're not using a taper on the car. So I want to make sure that our whole system of brand elements go together well so that if they ever are used together, it makes sense. So what I'm going to do is scale this palm tree down. It would be smaller. And I'm going to just eyedropper those leaves to match these outlines that I've got on this car. Now, even so, it doesn't quite blend seamlessly because the negative space between my strokes is a little bit different. So I think what I'm going to do is just use this more flat, filled in silhouette style. So let me know if you think that's a good idea. Because what I'm thinking is, I've got this kind of car element. I need to create actually a little bit of a clipping mask to house my wheel in, because I want there to be a negative space between my wheel and the base of my car. So I'm going to go path, offset path, and I think I'll do it by, I guess we'll start with 10. I'm just going to cut this segment here, delete the rest, and close that up, and then that will hold my wheel. So I have to make sure that my wheel is grouped. I think it is. Yeah, it is. And I'm just going to select my wheel and my shape and go Command 7, and that creates a little clipping mask. And that just creates a nice little bit of negative space. I can always adjust that if it feels like it's a little too much. Maybe I'll move the wheel down. Maybe I'll move it up. It kind of feels like it needs to be moved a bit more to feel intentional with that cutoff. Maybe down more. Let's try that. Yeah. And then I'll just option drag this one over to my other wheel. I don't know, it's actually not quite the same. My window, I don't think. Yeah, it's a little different. So we'll actually make that one from scratch. So I'm just gonna copy this wheel placement so I know exactly where it's gonna go. Command F to paste it in front. And then we're gonna copy this, paste in front, and do the same thing. I probably just shouldn't have deleted it before, but you can see I'm a little haphazard about some things sometimes. Offset path. Cool. So just grab that. Delete the rest. And do that again. And then what I need to do is start with getting my type in order. So again, this is like a part of a specimen that's going to be used with our new font. So I want to type out the name of the company in the font. So it's going to be Maxwell Auto. So we'll just get that typed out, scale that up. And the font is Chapman Ave. And we want to use fill, which is like the top layer. And the cool thing about this font is, like, this looks cool as it is. It's an all caps font. I'm going to decrease the leading between these two. And then I'm just going to option drag one over. And I'm going to go to my open type features, and I'm going to turn on the style set 1 because that creates the outline. I think I like the outline. That looks good. We can try a few different layouts with both of those, but I like that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to move this over to the side. And I also like the outline because it kind of mimics this like monoline thing we've got going on over here. So we'll see how that goes together. So I need to group my little thing. Group. Oh, I didn't do my crossbar for my A. I wonder if we need it. I think we probably do. Ooh, but I don't know if I want it there. Maybe it goes... That I'm unsure of. I'll have to think about that. For now, I'm going to leave it out. It's kind of like it's like if you see it and you notice it, you win. If not, you don't get to see it. So I think that would be bigger, maybe like there. And I'm thinking that how we'll use this is, this could be like a keychain element, perhaps. And then we'll create some secondary marks too. So the first thing I want to do is add like the little descriptor that's going to go below, which basically says like, what do we do? What are we about? I think it'll be classic. Just get that a little bigger. Maybe like 40. Auto repair. And I think I'm going to typeset that in to start. Let's try Beverly. Let's see if that'll work. Because it's kind of like a retro script. And then right now that's on the style set 1, but I think I'm just going to see what, yeah, the more casual, just regular looks like. That looks good.
That's amazing.
Yeah, classic auto repair. Oh, and sales. Can't forget that sales. And sales.
Love it.
So I'm going to copy this. I think I want this to be arced. Kind of arced below. So I'm going to draw a oval, clip the path, and then use my type on path tool. And I'm just pasting in that little tagline that we created. Type on path, man. It's my nemesis. Flip it over. And then, yeah, that looks cool. I'm just going to center all this. Move my palm tree. And then put our location tag in. I think it's fun to add, if this is like a retro style logo, to have like little nods to the story, right? We're from Orange County. It was founded in 1978. I think that's what we said. So I'm going to start typing some of those things out. And those are little pieces of information we can use to build out this little logo lockup.
Laura Vaz wants to know, how do you test your logos to see if they'll work for your client?
Ooh, that's the funnest part. And I do that with mockups. So I've got a bunch of mockups that I've either bought through like Yellow Images or downloaded through, Adobe Stock or bought on Creative Market or whatever. And the basic ones that you can use like pretty much on anything is t-shirts, coffee mug is a really popular one, hat, those kind of things, window, like a window of a shop, retail shop or a storefront. Those ones are so great to test, like, does this look good applied to something, applied to a sign, applied to a t-shirt, does it work?
And Andrew O'Brien seconds that question with how many iterations do you provide in the first presentation?
Oh. So we usually do the magic number 3. That's like what works for us. And it depends on the client. Some clients just have a way that they like to work and they've worked that way forever. And, when it's like Disney and they're saying they want this many concepts, you say yes. But for other clients, we found that 3 is the magic number. It gives them just enough variety of options and styles, but doesn't make it to where you're overwhelmed by the choices. There's an actual like scientific term for that, where it's like your brain actually gets exhausted when you have too many options to choose from, and you can become overwhelmed quickly. So you don't want to stress your client out with that. So I find that 3 is just the perfect number.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
As a person who doesn't like too many options.
Oh my gosh. Well, like even when we're trying to find restaurants, oh my God. No, I'll just find 3 and let you pick, because it's like we could
even movies.
Yeah.
Night, it's like 3 is max.
Yep.
2 is better.
Yeah. What about you, Chad, though? What's your magic number? Have you found there to be something that works for you?
Johnny Niddle made a good point that Arrested Development was filmed in the county that we're doing the logo for.
Was it actually filmed here? Oh my gosh, it's definitely based here. I love that. The banana stand and all that. That used to crack me up because we lived down Balboa. But I thought they filmed in Marina Del Rey or something because of all those weird rules that they have. But it's I love all the Newport jokes because they're so spot on.
Yeah. And I Am Rita Kiss Doc says, I love how simple you made the palm frond. I would have over-rendered the crap out of that and hated myself. It's so clean and simple.
Oh, that's right. I do that so often. But you know who's really great at simplifying things down into shapes? JPEG Fletcher. That's his handle on Instagram, and that's all I know. But if you look him up, his work is so amazing in that it's just geometric shapes. He's simplified everything down to geometric shapes. And I think that's so cool.
Danielle Frater says, learning here more than I did in my GD class.
Oh, Danielle, we love to hear it. Yeah, it's fun sharing tips and tricks. I love it. Oh, B, what did you get out of your book that you were reading last time? It's like the book on creativity by the Monty Python guy?
It's Creativity, a Short and Cheerful Guide by John Cleese, and it is awesome. He talks a lot about his main focus, which is what I actually didn't expect, is talking about your brain and your subconscious. And his whole thought process is that the subconscious is the creative mind. So when you think about something creatively, it actually prevents you from being creative because your analytical brain takes over and cancels out the ability to think more abstractly, which is like kind of where creativity comes from. So he finds that when he is having a creative stop or halt, as it were, he will go to sleep and sleep on it and then wake up and is usually more creative in the morning. And if you also, the language between the subconscious and the conscious, where it doesn't speak to you in perfect sentences, it speaks to you in like dream speak. So trying to understand your creative mind literally also doesn't work. So it's he takes time out of his day, especially if he's working on a project, where he'll just sit in a room and think about it, not literally, just sit in silence and let his creative mind just sort of wander around. And then he'll sometimes keep like a post-it note on what the topic is to draw his mind back if his mind starts to wander too much. But usually it's like when he gave an explanation from another book that he read, where a guy was just staring into a fire and he noticed that the fire started to look like the shape of a snake that was chasing its tail, and then this gave him an idea for something else. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
12 Monkeys.
Right. But yeah, so it's very interesting. I'm like more than halfway through, and it's a cool concept. After I read that chapter, I just went outside and stared at a spider like making a web and just like the trees and the leaves, and yeah, and I was just trying not to think so literally about things, because when it's true, like if someone asks you a question and you think about it, you don't know. But if you just let it kind of your mind still works on it even when you're not thinking, because your subconscious is always working.
It's funny, he said in a complicated way, go take a walk, go do something else, step away from the project.
He like explained what's going on and gave a lot of examples that I found to be super helpful.
Yeah, it is true. You got to step away. That is like the best thing you can do. That's what we do on the stream all the time. When we get to a point where we're like, okay, we got to start making some decisions. Let's put it away, come back to it later, see what happens. Yeah, I love that. Didn't you say you didn't know that he was in Monty Python? That you just knew him from A Fish Called Wanda?
No, I said I didn't know he wrote A Fish Called Wanda.
He wrote A Fish Called Wanda. That's
I was like, oh, I didn't know he wrote that. That's funny, because I love that movie. It's so hilarious. Right? He's I love his kind of humor. I like that kind of like silly, stupid humor.
Right.
It's great. I actually started watching one of the Monty Pythons after I was reading the book.
Oh, could we? Well, I'm just trying like different iterations of shapes. The one thing I know I have to use, or I want to use, is my font, because I want to show how it serves well for a logo. But like all these, like extra little touches and things those can be changed. So I'm trying to think about like stylistically, what are we going for? But I'm thinking, as much as I love the script option because it creates kind of like a classic vibe, I want it to be a bit more industrial, blue collar. So I think I'm going to try something else. What that is, I don't know. Let's try P22 to start. Well, I wonder if I have that synced. Ooh, what's this one? Oh, that's kind of cool. It's kind of like Benguiat, ITC Benguiat. Is that how you say that? But it's kind of got like an edgy kind of thing going on. Let's see what else we can find. Choosing fonts, we could spend all day just choosing fonts, but I want something that's different to my font. So maybe a serif, but maybe not this. This is too, well, maybe. It feels a little bit too hobo or too Cooper Black.
Ronnie is like, hold your horses. The 3D effect was too quickly done. He needs to know what the heck just happened. And Johnny Niddle says those little white oval thingies are absolute pure gold.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, these ovals, all I did was I have an oval that I made with just a rectangle and rounded the corners, and I put it on an outline. Then I just Command C to copy, Command B to paste in back, and then you just shift click an arrow down and then shift click an arrow to the right, and that creates an offset, and then you just fill it with that black. And boom. Look at that. Boom, baby.
Boom, baby.
So, yeah, that's how you do it. Yeah, actually, I like this. This is weird. Albertus Nova. Maybe that will work. Maybe it's a little bit too weird, but there is something interesting about it. Because, yeah, I want it to feel... And then I think this should be for sure bolder. So we'll go extra bold, maybe. Yeah, that's good. And then, actually, maybe one down, bold. Because I'm trying to make all of the weights kind of feel consistent. Yeah, that's feeling better. And then
Chloe Lauren says, love how your style is your own, but you can see the inspiration from your surroundings. Your work is amazing. Heart eyes.
Thank you. That's so nice.
And Bernadette Leslie said, I read somewhere about how your mind processes so much information we shouldn't believe everything we're thinking about.
Oh.
That is an interesting thought. And there is a lot going on there. Anti-Pixel Type Studio. I think the horizontal works good because it follows the horizontal shape of the car.
Mm-hmm.
Johnny Niddle says they look like old brake lights.
Oh, I love that. Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's really good. Now I'm just trying different pairings. So I'm just going to copy this, see how that looks. Nope, see, too heavy. Too heavy for sure. So let's try.
Andrew O'Brien said it's the ampersand. The serif looks very like a hammer, very industrial.
Interesting. Yeah, right. Interesting. Totally. It's better. That could work. Oh, this is cool. It's too wide, but what if we put it on 2 lines? Oh, I love this.
Dun, dun, dun.
So maybe like 65, be a little higher. Is it too much with the really narrow and the really wide? Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. Hold the phone.
I love it. Okay.
I think it's good.
What if, okay, so we're getting somewhere. It could be wrong, but right now it feels really exciting. So now what I think I'm going to try, this could go horribly wrong. Hang in there with me. I'm going to try to round at least all of these corners so that it kind of matches the round that we've got going down here. I might regret it. Let's just see. I'm going to go up here on my corners thing and just do it through there. Does that make it feel... We'll have to fix some of this because the rounds are not going to work on all of them the same. So we'll have to punch that one up a little bit. Maybe punch this one down a little bit manually.
Ronnie says, I like how you leave the car as is and focus on the type treatment and then maybe come back to it later. I would be optimizing the car forever and just put Maxwell Auto in Helvetica.
Oh, that's so funny. My main goal is just to try not to typeset another logo in Helvetica, not because it doesn't work, but just because it's so prevalent, like you're saying. It's like it works too well, almost. It's like it's just such the easy go-to. Kind of in the same way that Cooper Black is for, you know, people who like retro design. It's like I can't typeset another logo. I just won't. Not that I can't, I won't. It's my personal mission to find other fonts. But then again, it does work. So it's like sometimes, I don't know. Okay, chat, I need your help. What do we think? Is this working or is this not working?
So far, we have a thumbs up.
For the rounding?
Ricky says it's interesting. But I think she may have been talking about the tag.
So, no from Ricky on this typeface. That's hysterical. All right, let's try rounding this a bit more.
Paul Transon said the rim detail could easily become a fun sparkle for the word mark.
Yeah.
Natasha thinks it's magic.
Okay. Oh. Well. Okay, I'm going to get the star detail. And I'm going to copy it out because I do like the idea of like bringing it. Oh my gosh. What if we just bring it in at the bottom? What if it's just like a nice little cap? Do you know what I mean? Oh, I mean, okay, chat. Do we like this round? I'm going to letter these. So
okay, we've got I'm Into It, made by Melissa Marie. Or Lisa Marie. I'm not dyslexic.
Oh, Lisa Marie. Lisa Marie Presley, is that you?
Ricky says, oh, she's laughing.
Okay, A or B as far as the rounded MA within the car. Yes, A or B. That'll be easier. Also, that's the other thing that kills me is when a friend
Louis likes the rounding.
Louis Frey?
Louis
Frey, I trust your judgment.
Meredith George. Ooh. Okay, no, you go. Oh, except, sorry, David Small. I liked the sharp edges more, feels more classic car to me.
Okay.
Ronnie says, how about outline wheels like they have the white rims?
Yeah, so I've got the white rim here. I don't know if you can see, but that little circle, maybe it's not quite, it doesn't like quite read as well, so we can always try something else.
Right, yeah.
But I'm going to try an option C.
Johnny Middle says B with like B. Andrew O'Brien A. Elliot Zazo B. Ronnie B. Megan A. So we've got 1, 2, 3 B's, 2 A's, 4 A's, 5 A's, 6 A's, another B. Sean David said this definitely needs to be on one of those sticky mini tearaway calendars repair shops and dealers used to hand out all the time.
Totally. Exactly. That's exactly what we're going for. So I'm going to look up Halogen Font, which I love. It's a great wide font, but it's not as wide as the one we have in B, just in case we want to like pair it in a bit. So let's see if we can't activate, let's try medium and bold, because I think we need something a little bit heavier. And of course, it's going to make me sign in.
Also, Lisa Marie says, I wish, I'm the other Lisa Marie.
The other Lisa Marie.
So far, the A's have it.
The A's? Yeah. Really? Gosh, I'm sad to hear that.
No.
Okay. Well, I trust you. Jen does this to me sometimes. Where my B's at? All right. Fine.
If you say so. But I do get what they're saying.
I get it too.
I get it.
I don't like it, but I get it. You know what? We're going to save it though, just in case.
Yeah.
Also, the angles here are a little bit wrong. Like I would have to fix this because there's a lot going on here that's not working. So I'd have to kind of finesse. But okay, I'll save it. You can never have too many copies. I always go left to right, but what Draplin does, which is super handy, is he makes a little arrow. And I'm going to make those now so that if I ever come back to this, I know where I'm going. And I'm just going to add a little arrow cap to it. And then I can know this led to this, led to this. So we'll just do that. And then I'll go Command D to get some more. And then we kind of know. Okay. So here's that Halogen font. I'm just going to see what... Oh, did it ever sync? Halogen, here we go. Let's sync these. Bold. Available with CC. Is it letting me do it? For some reason, it doesn't seem to. Let's refresh. Okay. This is weird. Try looking for it again. It's showing up kind of strange. All right, well, it doesn't want to log me in, so I'm just going to go back to, we're not going to look for fonts all day. I can always adjust that later. For now, I'll just, you know what I'll do? I'll cheat. I'll add a stroke. Start with 1, make it black so that we can kind of see, and then we can just test it. And if I used it, I would do all caps, I think. That's cool.
Ronnie has a thought. Okay. I really want to move that lower stroke up so it doesn't rest on the solid part.
Yeah, I know. I need to figure out how, because see how this is like messed up? I need to figure that out, but I'm not really sure how to at the moment. So what I might do, well, Oh, that's on the rounded one. Everyone likes the flat one. So we'll grab this one and start making edits to this one. Bring it back over here. Oh yeah, this is a way better vibe than this one. Sorry, Bev, you're just not right for the project. It's not you, it's us. Okay, so I'm just gonna move my palm tree, move this over here. But see all these little edges that aren't lining up right? We need to kind of figure that out. So let's and it's because the car, it's just a little bit different. So I'm trying to think here. I think what I'll do is, first I'll option drag this over just because I want to have a copy of this one. I'm going to scale it all down. It's a little bit too big. I'm going to option drag one. And what I need to do is line up in this area. I'm just going to select my bottom half and shift click down a few so I know exactly where it's going. And I need to line up this, which it's a little bit late for this, but I need to line it up down there so that it all goes together. So I'm going to use my rulers. I'm going to drag one down, and now I have kind of a guide.
This is a good question, and you were just talking about this the other day. Anti-Pixel Type Studio says, how do you think of font names? I always struggle with that part of the process the most.
Yeah, that is tough. For font names, Jen and I even fight about it all the time because I like to have a system to where there's there's a theme. Like people know oh yeah, it's always a street name or a location, which is what we do. All of our fonts are based off of somewhere we've been or something we've seen. And so we always name it after a city. But some people, and it also, I find that it allows you a lot more room because if, say, Chapman is already taken, which it was, Chapman Ave is not already taken. So I find that it really helps open up the opportunity for using things that may be used before. But there's a great resource. It's called, I'll list it in the show notes, but it's a place where you can check if a typeface has been taken, the name has been taken. Actually, let me see if I can find it real quick on my drive. I probably can't because it's so hard. Let's see, type. Okay, here we go. I'm going to do a blog full of font resources, but for now, I want to just share this namecheck.fontdata. And this place, you can check your name. So you can check Chapman Ave. First, let's just check Chapman because I bet it'll be taken. I think it was, I already checked it. And if you check, it'll show you results for, European or American trademarks, and it'll show you exact matches for this font on font sites. So Chapman's already taken. I can't use that. So instead, I'll use Chapman Ave. So it's really cool. It's pretty handy. So that's a good place to just kind of check. But I find finding a system like Grilly Type, they do GT and then space a name. And that also allows them to, get away with using things like probably Alpina must have been taken before they made GT Alpina. So, but because they've got that GT in front, I think that helps them. So, oops. Let's just go back a few. And I'm just going to shift click down to. So that fixed a little bit of it. Now we're just going to move down a bit more.
Okay, Andrew O'Brien says, please put the Foundry initials first. I hate when they're never in the same place or not used. It makes it so hard to find.
I know. I like that too, but unfortunately we've already named a lot of our fonts, so we can't do that going forward. But I agree. I love that. GT does that. It's so handy. Yeah, I really like that as a naming method.
Melissa Lopez says, seeing your design and thought process is so inspiring. Enjoying this.
Oh, good. Glad. So I just recreated that middle line, and if I had done it the way that, I think it was Brooke, that recommended that we use the path? I'm going to have to look into that because that sounds really handy. But for me right now, I'm just kind of like adjusting manually with my direct select tools and doing the trick. A lot of
Ronnie says we should do something similar in Figma sometime so we can fiddle around in real time.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Too bad it's not Illustrator.
That's so funny. Jen uses Figma. I do too every now and again. I love it. It's so handy. Okay,
it's handy.
so this is handy. deleted or moved.
Oh, Matthew Miller says, while you're at it, align the back of the car too.
Yep, did that.
Okay, sorry.
Did it.
Late on that.
Did it. Okay, and then it is a little bit on, let's see, this is, I need to get just a teens more down. So we'll just double click into here.
That's crazy. I just got an ad for Figma. They're listening.
It's funny when you start building something, it starts out with the intention of being so clear and all of the layers and everything being right, and then you get in the weeds and things get offset, and sometimes I end up just like recreating the logo at the end just to make sure that everything is aligned properly. And I know that's a little bit maybe OCD, but I just find that sometimes it's just easier than trying to do like I'm doing now. Let's get this out of the way. This is making me crazy. All right, I'll just pull down the guide here for that top one, and then we'll just line that up. All right. It does seem that maybe these have gotten off track with this somehow, so I might just redo this again. And I wish I knew how to, let's see if we can figure out the, on the strip panel, what she was mentioning about having the multiple lines. I'm not sure about that, to be honest. So I guess I'll just, for now, yeah, I'm not sure how to do that. But we will just do our offset path trick. That's trusty old offset path. And then we might just call it a day for today, because it's been about an hour and a half. In 10 minutes, it'll have been an hour and a half.
Hi from Mexico, Fernanda. Just wanted to say that your font, I think it's meant to say selection. It's always on point.
Oh, I do love these fonts.
Jackson falls down for the Figma party. Matthew Miller says, sorry if this was already said, but I love the Adam West era Batmobile vibes. Doc says, nothing like a live stream to screw with your layers.
I know. Oh my gosh. To really like just put everything in just awry. Okay, so these need to be filled in with our kind of cream off-white that we're using. And then I'll just kind of move these off to the side. Doesn't look like it listened to me. So let me just zoom in over here. Select these. These are pure white, and we're working with kind of more of a cream background. There it is. So we'll get that going. All right, we're getting somewhere. That looks great. I love that. So my other ideas, which, chat, tell me what you think. Didn't you used to love when there would be like a little like motto, or what do you call it? Mascot dude? I was like, how funny to have like a retro palm tree wearing sunglasses, but also just so bad. It could be so bad.
Be so bad that it's good.
Oh, she says appearance panel. Ronnie says appearance panel. Ronnie, you're teaching me everything today. All right, let's try it. Let's see what we can do. So I'm just gonna option drag this up. And I'm sorry to everyone who's having to watch me like learn these skills. But let's go appearance panel, which I think is this one. Yes. Okay, and then we're gonna go effects, I guess. And then we'll go brush strokes. Let's try bright ink outlines. Is that what it is? Nope, that's not it.
Bernadette, you've inspired her to try and make her own font.
Oh, fun. Yeah, give it a try. See how you like it. All right, we're just going to keep moving forward with this, but I think this looks pretty dang cool.
Looks so
like,
cool.
Can't you imagine this on the business card? Like, if the business card was like a little square magnet and it had like the phone number info, like maybe the phone number goes down here and it's like in 949-555-5555, like they do in the movies.
Yes.
And so the phone number goes down there or something, or like down here.
Matthew Miller says, I want that walking palm tree on a shirt.
Isn't it ridiculous? Oh, let's see if we can make it.
And Ricky says, reminds me of those flowing air things that people have outside the car shop.
I have a feeling that it's really not going to work, but also who am I to say?
Andrew O'Brien loves the palm tree mascot idea. Oh, Ronnie says that it's the plus sign in there.
Got it. I'll try that another time.
Megan Edwards says, I would definitely buy that shirt. And Natasha says, cute.
I would did you guys really? There's no way you would buy that shirt. It's so awful.
No.
You're just patronizing us. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Okay, so this is my awful attempt at drawing a freehand palm front, but the points are there, so we're just going to adjust it. So I'm just going to kind of move things around a bit.
Chris Porter says, great job. Got a jet. Keep killing it. Bye,
Thanks, Chris.
Antipixel says, it's looking good. David Small said, I need some palm tree content.
I know. Can never get enough of it. It's like people from New York must think that we're just one-trick ponies. Put a palm tree on it. It's like the Portland put a bird on it, but it's put a palm tree on it. Okay, so here's like, because we need a fatter head, so he needs a fatter piece of hair.
like Sideshow Bob?
Yes, it's Sideshow Bob. Okay, so actually, and then these need to go out maybe like a bit, and then I'll just kind
of Andrew O'Brien says the mascot feels like the Pixar snow globe short.
Oh, I never saw that. Oh, that's funny. Okay. All right, I'm gonna have to look that up. Okay, so now we need the sunglasses. Sunglasses are so easy to make, let me tell you. I think I'm going to do these kind of like Ray-Bans. I'm just drawing a rectangle and direct selecting those bottom anchor points and just kind of nudging them in a little bit.
Ricky says, I would 100% buy that shirt.
That's hilarious.
Paul Transon says that mascot needs to become a sunscreen brand.
Yes!
Megan Edwards says, Hoodzpah could put anything on her shirt and we would all buy it.
Oh my gosh. I love it.
Josh Betsy says, Sorry.
Betsy.
Simply magical. All the things I wanted to know while designing.
Oh, good.
Natasha says, try us.
Try us. Natasha is saying she has put forth the order. She has put forth a decree. She wants to see it.
Bakra-eyed videos. I want coconuts on these trees.
Oh my gosh. Okay, should we give him some coconuts? Okay, let's see. Okay, so his sunglasses have to be the reversed color. If he's gonna have like a back.
That's the thing. Backwards, reverse.
Yeah.
The opposite.
The opposite. And I'm just gonna option drag this up, and I'm going to round some corners here. It's a little too sharp.
Hey, Relink.
Actually, I'm gonna Pathfinder this whole thing so that I can round all the corners at once. I think that's gonna be good. We'll see.
Ronnie wants to know, do you know Vacation Ink? They have the best Miami style vibes.
Oh, are they font designers? Is that right? Is that right or is that wrong?
And Gundam says hi. Hi. Hey.
So actually, maybe these go kind of like that. No, this is gone. This is not right. I'm just gonna do these. This is one of those streams where I'm looking like I don't know what I'm doing more than I look like I do know what I'm doing. But this is design. This is why nobody wants to live stream design, because it's a lot of messing up. Okay, so these are the more rounded ones if we want to go a little bit more soft. So we'll option drag our little mascot dude up. And we'll try this like rounder shape as well. Also, oh, we should try the shape that the lion's wearing. John Lennon glasses. So we're going to option drag up and do circles. What's the girl's name in Almost Famous? Penny Lane. Penny Lane glasses.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So we're gonna make just a little arch for the bridge. Make it a nice stroke. And I think I'll up that stroke a teens. And group that. So let's see which one we like best. Okay, which vibe are we going for? Okay, the circles are the best, hands down. Right? The circles are the best.
I think the circles are pretty awesome.
And then for our smile, I'm thinking we'll start with like a really little smile. Like almost like Hello Kitty style, like really little. And I want it to be like up and off to the side or something weird. Or maybe it's over here. There we go. Maybe it's over there.
Maybe it's like kind of crooked, like her.
Yeah.
Smirky.
Okay, yeah, a little smirky.
Why not?
Let's try it. Let's option drag this down. He can be there.
Oh, he looks more smirky in that one. That's funny.
Do we rotate this
or
a bit?
That would the other one.
Yeah, just a little bit less. He's so cute.
He looks very friendly.
Okay, and then I kind of want his hair to go up more at the top, so we can always like adjust that thing down there, but he'll need his body, so I think that'll cover up some weirdness. Okay, this is so far the winner in my mind. Penny Lane Palm.
Jen says John Lennon circles.
Right? They're so cute. Okay, so we're gonna keep him and move the other ones off to the side. It's funny because I'm feeling like this might be too different in style, even though they're both kind of a 70s vibe. I just don't know if this is going to fit our style, but we'll keep going and we'll just see. Maybe the fix is trying to bring in this little star again, which we brought in down here, so that we're kind of we're sharing elements. We're creating repetition so that it looks more intentional and more like a pattern. So maybe we keep this somewhere up here. Maybe it's, I don't know, somewhere. Okay, so.
See you, Ronnie. No, by all means, keep talking. He says, next time I'll try to be more quiet.
No,
that's what makes it fun.
No, I learned so much today. Are you kidding me? Please come again. Okay, so here's his little body. And I've already got like one little foot, but I think I'll detach it a little bit so that he can be wearing socks. So these are going to be thicker, I think. That might be too thick, but we'll see. I'm going to round this out. And we'll do a round cap end on that. So those are like
Ricky says, just scratch the car and make the palm tree guy the star.
I know, right? Okay, so here's where we're going with this. Let's get him over so there's more room.
He's adorable. He's incredibly friendly.
And then we'll go copy front, get our sock going again, or our shoe, whatever you want to call it. And then,
ooh, Megan Edwards says the stars could be reflections in the sunglasses.
I know. Will it be too small? That's a good idea, but will it be too small? If it's a t-shirt graphic, not necessarily, but right. If not, then probably. I think that will be a little too small, but we'll keep it there for now. Yeah, probably will. Wow, that looks like some crazy eyeballs, doesn't it? Giving me crazy eyeball vibes. It's actually kind of fun.
I love it.
Oh, wow, that's kind of fun.
I totally love it.
Does it work? Wow, does it work?
Does it work, guys? I think it works, but I'm not sure.
I want his hands to be kind of like...
Jake and Brooke says, add some Birkenstocks.
Oh my gosh, some Birks. Let's go full 70s. B tried to show me the other day. She goes, I want these shoes. They're like Crocs, but leather. And I go...
I said, they're not like Crocs.
No, you did say.
I said not.
Oh. But then why would you start with they're not like Crocs but leather?
For some reason the shape, it's like almost like that, but it's not at all. I remember I was like, it's like not at all this, but it's like a slipper, but not. And immediately, like the cool slip-on ones.
Immediately because I lived through the Y2K the first time. I lived through that. I lived through those fashions. And I remember when it first came around and everyone said, we're buying these Birkenstocks. And I said, are you sure we have to do this? Is this what we have to do to be cool? Because if so, I think I'm out. And I just remember thinking it was like you could only get those at Journeys, and then the jelly sandals.
Oh, the jellies, and then yeah, this was like no.
Oh,
I did have them. I think,
and then Airwalks. Like 3. Yeah, Airwalks. Like that was all you could get, and I was like, I think I'm gonna go with the Airwalks.
Yeah. Oh man.
So he's like real laissez-faire. I like how his hands are. And then I wonder how we do his hands. I'm gonna use my pencil tool and just kind of
Mark is like, oh B, so a leather Croc. And he loves his little like Star Wars Crocs. And I'm always making fun of it.
That's so funny.
Sending him memes of people wearing Crocs and things like that.
I got a pair of Soothies, which is like slide Crocs.
Are they Soothies or are they Smoothies?
It's Soothies.
Okay, that's what I've been calling them too.
No,
that was Jen.
No, it was you. You called them Smoothies. You kept calling them Smoothies.
I called them Soothies.
No.
Jen, right. I'm right.
I guess this is the remix then. This is the remix of the story, courtesy of B. The real story is no, but I bought some. Anyway, I bought some. They were great. Except but already they only had half size. They don't have half sizes. So they're like, we recommend that you size down. So already I'm going from a 6.5 to a 6, which is very small. Then I leave them in the sun at the beach. they've shrunk another half size. So now they're a 5.5.
Shoes.
Now they're a 5.5.
I'm like, this baby shoes.
I'm like, this is not gonna work for me. This is not gonna work for me.
Okay.
And it's funny because my friend Paul Hutchison warned me. He got some Crocs. He left them outside on his porch while he was doing some yard work or something. And he left them out there in the sun and they shrunk. And he told me, said they'll shrink. And I did not heed his warning. All right, so I just made a hand using that like rounded stroke.
Okay. Trevor Gerard says Crocs over Birkenstocks, Amy.
Definitely not Crocs over Birkenstocks, but most things over Birkenstocks. Yes, Trevor, you were there. You remember? Although I was in Kentucky at the time, so I'm very aware that like everyone wore American Eagle. Like when we came into school and you would come into the lunchroom, I remember you would look at the popular kids table and really any other table and just look down the line and everybody was wearing an Easter egg colored polo from American Eagle. Yeah. Every single person. And I was like, no.
Terrace says Gumby hands maybe. Riki says a surfboard in one hand, a beer in the other.
Are we going to give him a surfboard? Oh my gosh. This has gone off the rails.
Cartier says Mickey Mouse hands. Tara says little mittens.
Oh, I love it.
Natasha says Gumby's cousin in California. Lauren said, can he hold a wrench or something?
Oh, a wrench makes more sense.
Mark says the palm tree playing basketball. Elliot says, no hands. LOL, just round stroke cap.
Oh, okay.
Antipixel says, this guy's compliment cute banana hands.
Oh, that's an awkward compliment. Cute banana hands.
Paul says, I've never wanted a palm tree guy to hold wrenches in his hands so much ever before.
Yeah, like what if he's holding, because I love the idea if it's like true Orange County culture, I love the idea that in one hand he's got the surfboard and then in the other hand, I can't get this to line
Also,
up.
Bakra, my name is B. Trevor Gerard said, yeah, get it small gear. I don't know. Get it small gear. Is that?
Oh, Keratin. Oh my gosh. I so wanted to wear American Eagle in middle school. Popular kids wore it for sure. So it wasn't just Kentucky, like a Kentucky Midwest thing.
Oh, that's a thing. Yeah. It was here too.
In California?
Yeah.
I remember,
American Eagle.
but not in San Clemente. Trevor Gerard,
yeah.
Tell me. Do you remember, because it was a beach city, in San Clemente, if you lived east of the 5, and the 5 to the beach in San Clemente was like maybe 5 miles. It was a 5-mile strip of just heaven. And if you had to live on the east side of the 405 or the 5, you were immediately less than. It was so weird that like you live inland. It was like this weird power trip.
Cartier says he needs surfer shorts to show off his chicken legs.
I know, gosh, are we getting carried away here?
And Steven, no, it's not too late to join. We are probably near the end, but welcome. Trevor says, I just can't believe the hype for crops right now, but Birks are like still shameful. Ouch. Ow. So don't buy them then?
Yeah, I mean, in my humble opinion, no thank you. When I saw they were coming back, I was like, surely not.
I like how men wear them with their cool cuffed like selvage denim and like, yeah. I just want to look like that cool guy. Is it so wrong?
Is it so wrong?
It feels right.
It turns out the thing that I thought was my worst idea is my best idea. How is this so? So I'm going to copy his hand and I'm just going to object transform reflect. And I'm going to make him another hand. And I'm going to make sure the thumbs are where they need to be because you can't just reflect. You got to kind of adjust.
Elliot says, actually, I don't know if you've seen a thing called the spider that holds your phone in the car. For some reason, this made me think of it. It would definitely make a cute one. Like those little things that like...
Oh, yeah, totally. So if the thumb goes on top, it does. But let's go. Object, transform, reflect once more. And flip it now on the vertical. And then we have a proper hand for the other side.
Julie says, what if he has branch like twig fingers instead of real hands, like how kids draw snowmen?
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay.
Like a stick
I
person.
see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Yes. I do think he needs shorts now. We're getting so over out of hand with this, but it's so fun. And I want him to have little dolphin shorts. You know how like short shorts are back in for guys? I love it. He's going to have little teeny OP dolphin shorts. We found photos of our dad from like the 80s helping my grandma build her house. Her and her husband built their own house in Kentucky. And he's helping my grandfather build the gazebo. And he's wearing the shortest shorts. And this man, you can't even get him to wear a shirt without a hole in it. And somehow my mother in the 80s pressured him into wearing short shorts from OP. I'm like, Mom, how did you do this?
That's so hilarious.
That is some sway she had over that man. Because nowadays I'm like, Dad, your shirt has a hole in it. Can we just throw it away?
Your shorts.
This is a good work shirt. Because he does construction. I'm like, fine, just can you not wear it out to dinner? Now we love our dad. He's great.
Riki wears Birks every day. Love a good and easy slip-on. Thank you, Riki.
All right,
and
Riki.
Trevor Jard says, it's not wrong, B. Do it. No shame. Thank you. I shall have no shame.
Thank you. I will.
And Tara says, he might be a naked palm tree wearing boots.
I love that idea.
That would be funny.
Is he wearing Uggs? Oh my god.
I think he's wearing Uggs.
He's wearing Uggs. Oh my gosh. Should these be rounded? No.
Sean David said one of the hands needs to be the Shaka sign.
Oh my gosh, Sean, you have the best ideas. What did you say the other day? And I was like, you're also good at puns, so there's that too. But okay, also the dolphin shorts have to have the little, the like inner lines. We're gonna go path, offset path, I think.
Trevor says, Amy, I live east of the 5 and I couldn't be more stoked. And the inlander shame.
That's what I think. But remember in high school how people were so cruel? It was like, gosh, there's so many rules to what has to be going on here. I don't like it. I do remember it.
Oh, I think that Bakra just said that I resemble Angelina Jolie and I am floored.
Now that is a compliment. That's not an awkward compliment. That's just a straight up compliment.
Riki says the palm tree needs Birks for sure. The slip-on kind.
Okay, so like with the shorts.
The top.
I love this palm tree guy so much. Wow.
Stephen Overture says, do I get this tattooed?
Yeah, I thought you guys were kidding when you said you thought it was a good idea because literally I drew this on my sketchbook last night. I had to get up out of bed because I thought about it when I was asleep. John Cleese.
There it is.
Subconscious creativity.
Subconscious creativity. Full circle.
So like John Cleese said, I had a subconscious creative moment.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to get out of bed and write it down because I was like, this could be fun. And then this morning I looked at it and thought, surely not. And here we are, though. Here we are. It's working.
In the book, he also talks about how there's one person who will, I think it was like Einstein or something, where he got his best thoughts like in the twilight sleep. That's when I get all of my ideas, just before you're about to go to sleep, because you're not thinking literally, you're just kind of in and out. And so he would set a timer, fall asleep, and then the timer would go off, which would wake him up, but he'd still go right back into that like relaxed state, and that's where he'd get his ideas to like force himself into that state.
Oh, I love that. That's cool. Yeah. Actually, this needs to be with shoulders.
David Small, he's wearing Uggs and listening to Britney Spears.
No, but he's wearing Uggs in the way that surfers still do. Like, they don't know that it's not 2004. Mm. They just know that it's comfortable and it's warm.
And they slip on, like Birkenstocks.
Just like Birks. Just like them Birks.
Jesse Sanchez, have you tried using Figma to illustrate?
Oh my gosh, Jesse Sanchez. Wait. Okay, Jesse Sanchez. Nope, different Jesse. Okay, I'm thinking of Jesse Showalter maybe? But anyway, Figma, the people who do those illustrations in Figma where it's like, it's almost like Disney Tangled art, like level detail. It's insane.
Wow, I didn't know.
And it's really hard because I've used Figma before and I've tried to create my icons directly in Figma, which is totally doable, but it's just a little bit awkward to learn and kind of get the hang of. But to know how much I struggled to just get that done and then to see how people are doing these insane illustrations it's so cool.
Riki said, what should his name be? He looks like a Chad, but less douchey. And then Jackson Fall says he's Lenny.
Lenny! Oh my god.
And then Riki agrees. Way better.
He is Lenny. Oh, I love
and so does Megan.
Lenny. That is good.
Paul Transon, I want the palm tree dude for my out of office email signature.
Gosh, yeah, you guys, don't worry. I'll put this, like add it on Instagram as like a story where you can like screen capture it. Because he really is just the star of the show, as much as I love everything else that's going on. Like,
Trevor Gerard, he can't wait for the OC season finale.
Trevor, when I tell you that joke,
oh my gosh,
he's the winner.
Amy.
Oh my gosh, I've been Trevor, no shame here, but I've been rewatching the OC and it holds up. It holds up like you wouldn't believe.
Oh man,
his neck felt real thin and awkward, but now I'm wondering if
a skinny dude.
I think that needs to go behind. Sometimes it's all about like ordering your layers. I think that needs to come out from behind. Yeah. Okay, we're getting there. The OC season finale. Oh my gosh.
That's gold.
That's classic.
Natasha said, I get my ideas like that before bed too. I used to have Siri and ask her to take notes as I ramble off. That is genius, because I'm always like, where's my phone to write this down? And yeah. And I hate it because it like interrupts your sleep at the same time, but you have to write it down or else you could lose it.
That's like people who keep a dream journal, like a little journal right beside their bed, or like, you know, comedians, little notebook beside their bed.
Oh, Antonio says Salvador Dali also perfected the power nap. No. That girl. There was a show that we're watching and she does that. Oh, it was from Cruella. She's like, it's time for my 9-minute nap.
Do his lungs get like should his legs be even longer, or is this fine? I feel like this should kind of go.
Also, Tara says Lenny matches the John Lennon 70s vibe.
Oh yeah, totally.
Laura says he looks like Wilt from Foster's Home for the Imaginary Friends.
Oh, I don't know what that is. I'm just gonna kind of like, I feel like I want that to have a little bit of a.
Ronnie's back. Shouldn't the car be a VW van though? Question mark.
Oh my gosh,
I'm still here.
We're so. It's good that this is a fake logo because we're so off script right now. This is so not the brief. But that being said, because it's just for a font specimen, like we can do whatever we want. We're the client, so.
Trevor Gerard said, I never watched it. Should I take the plunge? What you say?
Oh my gosh. Trevor, I feel like you have fine, refined taste. But actually, Trevor, you would really relate to Seth Cohen's character, who's like an emo kid who listens to Death Cab and all of that. I feel like you could relate. Maybe you do. Maybe you take the plunge.
Cara says, maybe the surfboard needs a star.
Oh, to also bring in the star there? I love that. That's kind of fun. I love his eyeballs as these stars. Oh, you know what we could do? Surfboards always have the Shaper logo. So I'm just going to draw a little diamond. Like an oblong diamond.
Ricky says, I really need Lenny in my life long term. Cough, cough, t-shirt.
I might have to do it. This is fun. Oh my gosh, we can make this a Hoodzpah shop tee. It's like the palm trees and everything. It's like California Dreamin', which is the Hoodzpah vibes I'm all about.
David Small, Cruella was so good. It was so
It really was so good.
I was so surprised.
B was like, we should watch it. And I was like, oh.
I know, I'm like, we should. I've heard from other people. I think it was the Awfully Great Design guy. And we were saying that we were going to watch it over the weekend, and I failed. And I'm like, we should watch it.
Oh, it was so
and
good.
He's like, you'll be surprised. And I was surprised.
I thought it was going to be like crap trash, like all those live action remakes, like Aladdin and all that. I really hated
that.
Those.
Was horrible.
They were so
that remake
dumb.
of Aladdin was horrible.
They were so dumb.
We watched 5 minutes. We're like,
nope. I was like, we're gonna have to turn.
It's
this
ruined.
Off.
It's all ruined.
We're gonna have to just not.
Antipixel, yes, I keep my dream journal next to my bed. My handwriting is awful. Same.
Yeah.
And I should get a dream journal. That's a great idea. Johnny Niddle says, these streams rule. I've been procrastinating long enough, and it's hard to work with this playing behind the music. Haha. Toodles poodles.
Bye.
Later. Antipixel says, it's almost like the Seinfeld joke. Is there one about handwriting? Is that what it is?
Is there? Tell us.
Yeah, I need to know.
I was listening to Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend, and they were like, we'll never know when Jerry Seinfeld is getting dementia, because it'll be like, what's the deal with this? Where am I? And it'll just be like, is this a bit? Is this a bit, or what's happening?
That's so funny.
It was so funny.
Stephen Overturf, this is totally a kid's storybook waiting to happen.
Oh.
I guess we're gonna.
I
do
have
one
so
Wednesday.
many storybooks in the works. We started one with our best friend from high school, Liz Logston. And it was called Cowboy Hank, based on her son, who is our godson. And it was so funny, like a cowboy kid and all his adventures that he goes on when he goes to sleep. And it was really cute. Okay, we're losing the legs here. I feel like maybe it should just be in the air or something. But anyway, y'all tell me what's up.
Eclipse G007. Surfer Dude definitely needs to be an NFT. Sean David said, this is all free baseball and I'm here for it.
Free baseball.
Free baseball. I don't know.
I have to be careful. I really don't want that to look like it's like right in the zone where it could be his.
Okay, well,
credits.
Trevor Gerard is speaking your love language here. He goes, haha, ouch. I probably do relate. I got really into Buffy in 2020, so anything is possible.
Oh my gosh, Buffy holds up. Doesn't it hold up? It's crazy. I was so surprised. I used to love it, and I've rewatched it more than any other show. Probably that and the X-Files I've rewatched 1,000 times. Also, Trevor, your brother-in-law, right, is Monsters Outside. They have the greatest, like, Buffy and all those, like, cult classic TV shows merch. It's so good. I bought one of his shirts and it says, I'd rather be watching Buffy. And it's great. And it's true. Whenever I have a hard day, I always think Buffy had it harder. She had to save the world. And everyone thought she was just a weirdo. So I can get through this.
You can get through the day.
I can get through this if Buffy can do what she did.
Trevor also said, loves the shop tea idea. Ronnie says, Lenny is so zenny.
He's so cute. Okay, so I think we're going to stop here after I just kind of fix his smile up a little bit. I'm going to make it into a 6 point, I think. But I think we got really far. And maybe I can still make this all go together. I don't know. Probably not. But
it was fun.
But it was really fun to try to make this work together. I do that down there, too. I would love to be able to make
Jackson Falls says, release the font as a bundle with the merch.
Oh, Jackson, am I right? I keep seeing things that you're promoting. Did you just start a new studio or a new business? Please fill me in and let me know. It's like Clubhouse or I know it's not Clown House, maybe, but it's something.
Oh, David Small, they did my boy Will Smith so bad that he's talking about the Aladdin.
Oh, I know. I feel like they really set him up for. They set them all up for failure. But yeah. That haircut. When I saw him show up on the screen, I was like, this is gonna be hard to just get through.
Okay. Sean David, put a Chomp logo on that board.
Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, let's promote our sis Josh Ariza. Actually, if y'all go over to Side Hustlers podcast, the podcast formerly known as Perspective Podcast. We got to hang out with Scotty Russell and Ariza. We did like a little collab episode. It was really fun. Okay, so we ditched the car and we went straight with the palm tree guy. And I love it. Y'all, thank you. This was fun. And look where we ended up. Not bad. Not bad for an hour and a half's work. Oh, 2 hours now. But yeah, I'm loving this. This is looking good.
I'm loving it.
I'm loving it. All right. Everyone, thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks for all your hilarious comments. Cartier Gate says Giles is the man, referring to Buffy. Yes, it is. If you haven't seen Buffy, do yourself a favor. If you like the 90s, if you like women who kick butt, if you like hilarious pop culture references, I think you'll like Buffy. It's a good one. Thanks so much for tuning in. Oh, yeah, and Jackson, Circus Fish. Yes, Jackson has a new company. That's so cool. We've known Jackson for years, and he went from being an intern for Lobster Phone, which is in San Francisco, and now he's just doing his own thing, like so quick. He's just like manifesting his dreams. It's so cool. If you enjoyed this stream and if you're hanging out with us, hit that subscribe, hit that like, leave us a comment on what you want to see next time or questions you'd like answered, your favorite part, your favorite Buffy episode. We want to know what you love. We had so much fun hanging out with you. And honestly, I learned in this stream too today. So thank you, Ronnie specifically. Thank you so much for teaching me so much. We'll be doing this again, hopefully next week, maybe not next week, but maybe the following. So just hit that subscribe button and it'll keep you updated on new videos. And we'll catch you next time. Wishing you strong Wi-Fi and a full Netflix queue. Bye, y'all.